Alright, what's up everybody? It's Kami and this is day 8 of Kamimas. I almost said Jojomas for some reason. I keep getting the two names confused. Whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for all the support up to this point. I just want to give, a quick thank you to you guys because you guys are great. Some of you guys aren't as great and you guys, kind of make me read comments and I question a lot of things that are said. Some things are just, jokes and bait, and then other things are just like, alright, you're either taking this too seriously, or this guy's just saying something dumb, or it's just like really cringe. And it's like, what? Why would you say that? But regardless, you guys are great. Thank you guys for all the support. Right now, we are at 1,800 subscribers. I'm getting really close to that 2,000 mark, and that's exciting to me. That's exciting to me. I think it's, great. I'm happy. Anyways. For today's video, I wanted to just sit back and talk to you guys again for another day of Kamimas, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 favorite games, in no particular order. All right, I'm just throwing that out there. I like all of these games a lot. My number one game, I'll specifically say is my number one game, and everything else I kind of just like shift around in order because it just depends on how I feel at the moment and what I'm talking about and stuff like that. But yeah. Before I start anything, go ahead and go down to the comments below and tell me what you guys, think, regarding to just what your favorite games are, I guess. You guys don't have to give me like a top 5 or anything. Just like, go in the comments below and tell me what your favorite game is, right? Because, I don't reply to all of the comments, but I do sit down and read them, while stuff is rendering and, I'm uploading videos and stuff. I just sit down, and I look at the comments and stuff and I read. And I do reply to some of them. I just don't reply to all of them because, it takes a lot of time. But anyways, I didn't know what to do right there. We're just gonna jump into the video. Alright, so hopping into things, we're gonna start off with Final Fantasy VI. The footage you guys are seeing is the Game Boy Advance version. It's not the SNES Final Fantasy III, I guess, quote unquote. That's what they labeled it as. But it's not the Final Fantasy III, version of the game. It's not the SNES version, so that's why it looks a little different. I definitely think it looks way better on the SNES. And the SNES, just everything looks amazing. Games look great, colors look great, pixels look amazing. SNES is a great system, but I'm playing it on the Game Boy because emulation, boys. But yeah, this game is really fun. I really like it. I think Kefka's a great villain. In case you guys don't know, Kefka's pretty much the psychotic magic version of the Joker. So if that doesn't sound cool to you, then oh well. But he's cool. Sabin is cool. That nigga suplexed a ghost train. That's a feat, alright? Suplexing a ghost train is a feat. Like, you guys can, say that Sabin is lame or whack. I'm gonna forever defend him because suplexing a ghost train? A ghost train? Like, dude, it's a train, but it's a ghost train, all right? That's some good shit. That's some really good shit. But yeah, you can suplex the ghost train. You can suplex pretty much like everything in the game. There's a couple things you can't suplex here and there, like a couple, boss battles and shit. But for the most part, you can suplex a lot of things. I like suplexing things in video games. Suplexes are cool. So you know what? You get to suplex things. I like suplexes. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Suplexing makes everything better. Everything.
4.
Our next game on our list is Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. This is the 3rd Shin Megami Tensei game in the mainline series. This is my personal favorite Shin Megami Tensei game. Well, next to Strange Journey. I don't have a complete rating on Strange Journey yet because I haven't finished it, but I guess I'd say Strange Journey is, my favorite out of all of them so far. But like I said, I haven't finished Strange Journey, so I'm not gonna, say I think it's the best. I have said it, it's the best before because I just like get to a point in the game and it's like, really hype and really exciting and I'm like, oh, this is the best SMT. But my favorite SMT is just Nocturne. It's a fun game. It's challenging. It's just Dante. You guys are seeing footage from the Dante boss fight because I had a save up on my PS3 of the game at the Dante boss fight. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go fight Dante and not strategize at all and just mess up all over the place and, get bodied. And that's exactly what we did. But the game is challenging. The game is fun. The game has really good music. And when I say really good music, I mean really good music. I love and absolutely love the music in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. I'm a big fan of Shin Megami Tensei music in general. And it's really dope. It's a really dope game. I don't really know what else to say about it. I like Nocturne. That's really just the only way I can put it. When people ask me, why do you like Nocturne, you know, I like the main character design, alright? I like the Demi-Fiend. The Demi-Fiend is really cool to me. You know, just like before he becomes a demon, half demon, after he becomes a half demon, you know, I like his design, alright? I like him with the tattoos and shit. I like him with the hoodie. He's cool. He looks cool. The music is good. The boss fights are fun and challenging. Some of them are really unfair at times, RNG. But, you know, the game is really fun. I like it. It's hard. It's challenging. I definitely wouldn't say if you want to start playing Shin Megami Tensei to start at this game, I'd say start at something easier like Digital Devil Saga, which is also on the PS2, and you can also get on PSN on your PS3 for like maybe $15, $12, $11. There's sales right now too, so I don't know if the game is on sale right now or not, but you know, regardless, the game is not too expensive to get. So if you guys do want to try out Shin Megami Tensei, then I guess you can go and try out Digital Devil Saga. But Shin Megami Tensei is a fun, very fun, and very hard RPG series that I just enjoy a lot. And when it comes to, you know, Shin Megami Tensei and Final Fantasy, I like Shin Megami Tensei a little bit more, but that's not to say, you know, Final Fantasy is shit, because I just put Final Fantasy 6 on here, and I think Final Fantasy 6 is the best Final Fantasy. That's just my opinion, of course, you know, at the end of the day, but they're both really good RPG series. I just like Shin Megami Tensei a little more.
3.
So that's it for JRPGs on my top 5 list. Of course, I had to, you know, sprinkle those in. Like I said, this isn't really in any particular order, I guess, but if we were to put this in order, number 3 is going to go to Spyro 2. Spyro 2 is one of the most nostalgic games to me. It was a game I played a lot in my childhood, and I mean a lot. Like, I had to sit down in front of the PS1, in front of the TV, and just play this game for hours when I was a little kid, and it was really, really, really fun to me. I've always enjoyed it a lot. When I finally got that 100% on it as a kid, you know, I felt really satisfied. Now, whenever I play the game, you know, I feel wrong not going for the 100%, given the footage that you guys are seeing. Because I have time constraints and stuff, on this playthrough, I'm still going to do the 100%. I'm going to go back and get all the other stuff I missed before, but, you know, I missed a couple things. Didn't go for everything because annoying minigames, that's like one of my biggest things with this game. One of my biggest memories is annoying minigames being extremely difficult at times, even though they're a little easier now, but some of them are still really just hard. And that's really the only way to put it. I definitely think Spyro 2 is the best Spyro game. It's my favorite one. It's a big improvement on 1, and 3 pretty much is like a 2.5, honestly. And it's not to say that 3 is bad. It's not to say I don't like 3. I like 3, but it just feels too much like Spyro 2 in my opinion. And I know a couple other people have, you know, said this and they feel the same way, and I don't blame them. But yeah, I'm a Spyro 2 boy. I think it's the greatest one. It's a really fun game, just really nostalgic to my childhood. All of the environments just look great. The game itself is, you know, pretty for a PS1 game. I love the sounds. I love the music. Everything about it is just great. It's just really fun.
2.
Coming in at number 2 is Dragon Ball Z Budokai. And this is probably going to take a lot of people, you know, off guard. Seeing a Dragon Ball Z game on like a top 5 list where I just mentioned, you know, 3 extremely good games that probably anybody would recognize. You know, well, not really with Nocturne. You guys get the point. Final Fantasy and Spyro are big games, right? Yeah, I like Dragon Ball Z a lot. A big part of my childhood. And, you know, when it comes to just my top 5, it's just, you know, a lot of games that I like are for, you know, nostalgic reasons. I think the games are, you know, very enjoyable. They're really fun and shit like that, you know? So it's just my opinion, right? So I really like Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1. I think it's the best Dragon Ball Z game made, just in terms of everything, and just, you know, the way that the game presents itself with the story, the, you know, the old school animated cutscenes and stuff with the 3D models and all that. You know, all the original music, which they did change in the HD version. I'm playing it on the PS2. The footage you guys are seeing is PS2 footage. So if it looks a little weird, then, you know, that's that. But yeah, playing the PS2 version, you know, with the original soundtrack, it's amazing. I love the soundtrack. It's so iconic to me. I can just, you know, think about things to do. And I can think about this game's music and put this game's music to things that I would do. So, like, if I'm going to go down the street, you know, and walk my dog, then I'm going to have music from this game for walking my dog. You know, I can think about it. I could set, like, a whole playlist so that by the time I get to this next spot, you know, it just automatically plays the next song and it fits the situation. Like, the game's music is great. The game's, you know, art direction is awesome. I love it. It's, you know, so old school, and I just love it. I love it. And this was one of those games where when you do specials, it's by doing combos and stuff like that. And since you have to sit down and input these combos to get these specials, you know, it made the game a lot more, I guess, it gave the game like more of a learning curve, you know, compared to other Dragon Ball Z games where you kind of just like charge key and then you hit like 2 buttons together and you do like a special and stuff. This one you had to hit, you know, combo sequences. So it would be like, let's say punch, 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 punch. Was that 4? Punch, 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 energy. right? So you hit square, 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 and then you'll hit circle. So you hit square 4 times and you hit circle. And for most characters, that'll give you, their standard punch combo into like a Kamehameha, Gallic Gun, things like that. Destructive Wave with Piccolo, the Masenko with Gohan. And, you just input these combo strings and that's how you get your specials. Same thing with doing like a Frieza's, Death Ball or doing Vegeta's Final Flash. Anything like that, just the big super moves are all through button inputs and through command strings. And I really like this a lot. And it felt more rewarding, as a kid, being able to pull off all these combo strings and stuff. And I used to have them all memorized. I don't remember a lot of them now, except for a couple of the basic ones. But when I was a little kid, and I used to play this game a lot with my older brother and my older cousin, I would have a lot of these combo strings memorized like the back of my hand. Like I could do these shits, blindfolded just off of audio cues, whether or not I hit the person or not. And I was, really dedicated to this game. And it's a game I spent a lot of time playing growing up. I have a lot of memories with the game. One of them being sitting down in front of the TV for hours, leaving and entering, and repeating the cycle of going into Mr. Popo's shop just so that I could get a Dragon Ball, because you have to go in and out of his shop until the Dragon Ball item shows up so you can actually buy it, because it's a random chance of it to show up. So you would literally sit there for the longest time trying to get the last Dragon Ball that you're missing so you can make your Shenron wish and get like all the skills for a character or something. And you would sit there for like hours because it's RNG, so you could either get it really quick or it would take like forever. And for me, it always took forever just to get these damn Dragon Balls. And I just remember hearing Mr. Popo say, thank you for buying, come again, over and over. But I really like the music in the shop and stuff, and the capsule customization music and all that. Like I said, the game's music is just great. The game looks pretty. It plays, really fun. The game has, a really nice character roster. It's small, but it's, balanced, and it just works. And it's a really fun game. I love it so much. I've been gushing so much over this game. Holy shit, I knew I was going to gush. But if you guys want to hear me gush, you guys are about to hear me gush a lot. I'm saying gush a lot. I have gushers next to me. I'm probably going to start eating these gushers after I'm done recording because I keep talking about gushing and shit. But the next game is going to be the game that I'm going to be talking about the most, probably. Or at least I'm going to maybe, talk about it really quickly because, yeah.
1.
So the next game on this list, and the last game on this list, and this is, my number one without a doubt. If anybody ever asks me what my favorite game is, I will always tell them this. Sometimes I might say Spyro 2. Sometimes I might say Budokai 1 because I, usually fluctuate between these 3, like I said before, and, I kind of just rotate. But 9 out of 10 times, I will say Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, is my favorite game ever. You guys are watching HD version. I don't have my PS2 version of the game anymore, sadly. I will go back and buy it. I'll buy the original version. I'll buy the greatest hits. And I'll just have them here for the collection because I love the game so much. This is my favorite game ever. This game is super nostalgic. This is another game just like Spyro 2 and Budokai 1 that I played a lot in my childhood. I enjoy the games like crazy. Like, when I tell you I enjoy the games like crazy, I literally mean like crazy. Like, I had so much fun playing all these games, but Jak and Daxter was the one I spent the most time on. And it was the one that, took me the longest to beat, given the game is not that long. It's really short, actually. I can sit down and beat the game 100% in one sitting, in like one day. And I've done that plenty of times. I always do that every year. I always sit down and I play the game, and I beat it again and stuff. And, when I feel like playing Jak 1, I just pop it into my PS3, and I sit down and I play Jak 1. And I'll play it from start to finish 100% all the way through. And it's so much fun. Because when I was a kid, I couldn't beat the game 100% all the way through until I was about, I want to say maybe 7, 8. I was still like really young when I did this. Or I think it was 6 or 7. Because I got the game when I was like 4 or 5. I played it like when I was like, really little and shit. But I played this game like crazy. And when I finally was able to get the 100% and I got the true ending where they put all of the power cells into the door and it, opens up and there's like the light and shit that comes out of it and they all just kind of look into it and that's it. I was really satisfied with this because I was like, okay, there's going to be a sequel. I didn't know there was a sequel already out. Jak 2 was out at the time. And I think Jak 3 was coming out in like 2005 or something. So by the time I had beaten the game 100%, it was probably already out, but I didn't play these sequels until later on in my life because I didn't know they even, were a thing at the time. The only one I knew that had sequels were Ratchet and Clank and stuff. Because I played Ratchet 2 first, and then I played Ratchet and Clank 1, and I played Ratchet and Clank 3, and I had a lot of fun with those games. But even with Sly Cooper, since we're talking about, the trilogy of, platform games on the PS2 and stuff, I played all of these a lot. I didn't know there was a Sly 2 and a Sly 3 until I was, older. But when it comes to these games, I like Jak 1 the most. I like Sly Cooper 1 the most out of the 3, and I like Ratchet & Clank 2 the most out of the trilogy, out of just those games. But you know, we're talking about Jak here, so Jak is just a beautiful game. You know, I really like the Naughty Dog platformers. I like all of Naughty Dog's games just in general. You know, Uncharted is really good, Last of Us is really good, and Crash Bandicoot is amazing. And Jak and Daxter, you know, is no slack in competition. A lot of people say they didn't like Jak because it just felt too much like Crash. I can understand, you know, the viewpoint. I can understand where you'd be coming from, but it just feels so, you know, different to me. It's like one of those games where it's so unique in itself. And one of the biggest things about this game, you know, being like a platform at a time, was that the world was pretty much just open. There weren't like a bunch of like loading times or anything for the game or anything like that. You would just walk from place to place on the map, and that's how you would open up, you know, the next level and shit. So you just walk to the next level. So like in the beginning, you know, you go down into the village, you go to the right of the beach, of the shores or whatever, next to like the farmer's house and the farmer's fields, and you go into a jungle, and the jungle's really big, and there's like a big you know, like building in the middle that you have to get a bunch of blue eco for to open all the doors and all the vents and stuff, and you can go into it, and you have a boss fight in there against a giant plant. If you go to the left of the village, it just takes you along another beach path, and then you're on this area nearby the beach, just like Sandy Beach or something, and there's giant windmills in the water and stuff, or there's giant windmills that you have to power up. And that was another thing about this, is the game wants you to kind of play it in an order, or at least backtrack a lot. If you don't do it in order, just to collect everything, because it is, you know, a collectathon platformer. So you'll go and you'll do things in the jungle, and you'll open up like eco vents so you can use these eco power-ups and other stages. So you'd have to go and get the stuff open so you can go back to the you know, beach and do stuff over there with the eco over there. And that was just like a really cool thing to me, about, you know, how you have to go and do this first and then come back, and this you know, you have access to this next thing, and you can achieve, you know, your next goal. You can get the next power cell, or the orb that you're missing, or the scout fly. And I generally like platformers and collectathon style games, and they're just really fun to me. I really enjoy them. And Jak and Daxter was just a really good one, you know. I just really liked it a lot. And those giant lurker sharks in the water when you swim out too far terrorized me as a child, and they scared the shit out of me. But when I got over it, you know. And it was just really cool to me. You know, this giant yellow fish tiger shark thing was just, you know, really ugly, would just come and eat you, and you hear like Jack's like heart pumping in the water and stuff, and then it just comes and gets you. And you know, as a kid, that was like so suspenseful and stuff, and like you'd be like, oh shit, you know, and then it would come and eat you, and it was like whatever, because you know, the game doesn't have a live system. You kind of just respawn, but you'd have to recollect things. Well, you'd have to recollect things that you already got, but you know, you'd have to start at the beginning of the level and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes it can get a little frustrating at points, just depending on it. But the death animations are also really unique. Daxter says a lot of funny things and a lot of, you know, different things depending on how you die. Daxter himself is a great character. He's really funny and just, you know, cheeky, considering that Jak is a mute and he doesn't say much. Kira's my childhood waifu. You know, shout out to the elf girls. Elf girls are great. And you have Sage Samos and the Red Sage, the Blue Sage, and the Yellow Sage. All the other characters, Gol and Maya, are two bad guys. They're really great. The last boss fight is fun. I love getting a white eco at the end and just going like full on Super Saiyan with Jak, and, you know, shooting like a giant blast at the giant robot from Gol and Maya, and, you know, plunging them into the dark eco and shit. And the game is amazing. It's beautiful. It's visually, you know, appealing. The music is great. I love it so much, and it's just my #1 favorite game. I could literally sit down and talk to you guys about this game for hours, but you guys have other things to do. I have other things to do. If you guys have enjoyed the video, go ahead and feel free to leave a like, comment down below what you think you guys' favorite game is. I'm sorry, I just like burped real quick. You guys aren't even gonna notice that. But yeah, comment down below what your favorite game is. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and feel free to subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. And we're getting close to Christmas, so get ready for Christmas and shit. JoJo Fridays is almost, you know, over, quote unquote, but I'm keeping JoJo Fridays alive with discussion videos every Friday. So that's what I'm going to be doing on JoJo Fridays now. I finally decided on it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Also, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to my boy Ndakuba for recording the voiceovers for the countdown. I really appreciate it, bro. His channel will be linked in the description below. He makes really good, and I mean really good, Dragon Ball videos. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and check him out. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.